Welcome, folks. Today we're going to go over the markets. I will cover price predictions for 2025. We'll cover crypto as well as the stock market indices. And we will also look into oil and the US dollar. So let's start out with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is having a massive pump as I was expecting. You can see my video that I released when I started this channel. And one of the reasons I started this channel was because everybody was bearish in the markets. And I was saying to the best of the traders out there that the market is going to have a gigantic pump and Bitcoin is going to make new all-time highs. I said that just a few days ago. I think I made a video on the 12th or the 13th of April. Today is April 22nd. And when I made the video before, it was around April 12th when I published my first video on my channel. And I wanted to, at that time, I wanted everybody to know that don't be too bearish. Bitcoin is looking bullish, and look at what has occurred. So let me show you in my recent video that I released on the 16th of April. I was covering some of the levels here for Bitcoin, and it is at that time I was saying these are the levels to watch, these levels right here, and I was also watching this level and this level. So since then, look what has happened. Bitcoin did not really come down much. It went up above this level and above this level. Notice that there was a powerful move above. It broke the structure, took this high out, and then came back and retested that area. So that was a great opportunity to take a long if you're not in a long already. Right around here would be a great opportunity to get into a long or somewhere, somewhere in this area. You could have gotten in when you saw some bullish structure shifts going on, but we've had a massive pump since then. Um, and I think this is the start of a massive, massive 2025 bull run for Bitcoin and the stock market. So let me show you my the what I'm looking at, my levels that I'm watching for the future forecast. And I'll show you on the daily chart for Bitcoin and the remaining assets, daily or the weekly. Most likely the weekly chart. Let's just look at the weekly. It'll be easier to show you. Okay, so here's Bitcoin on the weekly chart. I'm gonna make some mark out some levels, of course, on the weekly chart since we're looking at a large macro forecast here. So here's obviously one level to watch is let's go look at the daily first actually. So you can see a little bit for especially for Bitcoin. And then for the other ones, I will look at the weekly charts. So it got so close to this one. I've been watching this thing for a few weeks now. This level about 95K. Uh, it has gotten so close. I think it's gonna get taken soon, maybe by tomorrow. 95K will be taken within this week. I think it'll be taken. And after that, some levels to watch right here. Here's one level. Here's another one. And then, of course, the all-time high of around 110K. So these are the levels to watch. Um, I'm expecting liquidity will be swept. You might see some reactions here. There might be some consolidation. Price might come up, consolidate here or do a little bit of action like this and then go up again. So I'm expecting expect this upward momentum to continue. I'm not expecting prices to like crash down again down to here, like 75K, for example. I'm expecting the market to continue to go higher at this point. So I'm expecting this level to be taken. All of these, I'm expecting all of these levels, basically all of these to be taken in this move up and swept. And whenever we get a daily or a weekly candle close uh, above this level around here, let's say 95K to this area, 95K to this zone right here, that'll be very, very bullish. That'll be a confirmation that, we're in full on bull mode. And then obviously when we go above the all-time high and close above that, you will get all the confirmations you need at that time. And I think that's going to happen soon here, very soon. I'm expecting this next month to be very, very pumpy. All right, so those are the forecasts or the levels for Bitcoin. So let me show you my forecast now. All right, I'm going to use the Fibonacci tool, Fib tool to do a forecast where I'm expecting Bitcoin to head up to. Okay, so this is the weekly chart. So we're going to make a prediction. It's just like how you would trade on a smaller time frame. We're looking at a larger time frame now. So weekly chart. Uh, Normally when a bullish move occurs like this, price can go anywhere from 100% move to anywhere up to 200%, 250%. So here are some of the levels that you can be watching. So this, I can say with very high level of certainty, this 133,000, 135,000 will hit in the not too distant future. And then I'm expecting all of these levels could hit in this 2025 bull run, all the way up to this level, 300% level. It can hit all the way up to here. Okay, so you can pause the video or snapshot it, whatever you need to do. You can always come back and look at this video. It'll be here for you to look at it later also. But these are the levels I'm watching. Just keep an eye on this level, 133K, then 162K, then around 200K, then about 250K, 300K, and 350K. These are the levels I'm watching for Bitcoin to have massive, massive monthly green candles or monthly orange candles in my case. I use orange color for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's color is orange. I use that for my charts, for the bullish colors. And I use the black candles from the good old days of the black and white charts we used. So I use the black candles for the downward candles, for the bearish candles, and I use orange for Bitcoin color for the bullish candles. Um, so those are my predictions for Bitcoin for the various levels. All right, let's go look at Ethereum now. I'm gonna clean up the chart first. I have my old stuff drawn here. We clean that up. Let's just look at the weekly chart for Ethereum. Ethereum has had a massive, massive drop, massive dump, which means the upside is also going to be massive. All right, so if you look at it, it came all the way down here to up here. It dropped from 4,100 all the way down to 1388. Unbelievable. So I was saying that in my video that I released around April 3rd that was a great time to accumulate assets, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, etc. But here, let me show you now my forecast. Okay. 7,000, almost a certainty for Ethereum. Upside targets. 12,000, definitely a certainty also. I think it can very easily from around here, from 1400, it can do a 10x like without any issues. If you don't believe me, you can see the 2017 bull run. And this bull run is going to be like the 2017 bull run because President Trump came into power at that time also, and the markets were very, very similar at that time, where tariffs were being discussed. It was very similar, political landscape and the market sentiment. And I'm expecting this to be a very similar to the 2017 cycle. So now let's look at some of the upper targets. All right, 20K is possible. These upper targets here, I do not think are going to hit. So my Ethereum levels to watch would be 7,000, 12,000, 20,000. Okay, those are the levels I'm watching, like 7K, 10K, 12K, 20K. I'm watching those levels basically for Ethereum. Very possible targets for Ethereum. And something, crazy news happens where Ethereum, has like staking available through the ETS, which might occur, it can go even higher because it will become better than many of the stocks like that pay dividends. Ethereum will become much better than that. If the ETFs are allowed to have staking rewards, it will be a game changer. Be a game changer for Ethereum and other things like Cardano, Solana. All of these staking, uh, all of these coins that have staking rewards. All right, so let's now look at Cardano. Let me delete my old stuff here. All right, let's see what Cardano has done. All right, very interesting moves Cardano did. Look at this pump here and then it dropped. Um, so let's do a forecast on Cardano from here to here. Actually, in reality, it's from here to here. So let's see what Cardano can possibly hit. So $2, of course, right? That's like a no-brainer. Its all-time high was around 3. So let's double check its all-time high. Yeah, it was 3. And let's see the higher levels. Very possible, right? Like $5 Cardano, $8 Cardano. So anywhere from 8 to $14 Cardano is very possible. I would say if you want to be very conservative, it like $6, $8, $10 Cardano. That's my forecast for Cardano. It could reach those levels. Um, so the other thing, a good thing going on about Cardano, Charles Hoskinson is supposed to go to this event that is about to take place in May for Bitcoin, and there will be some major announcements there. Cardano is working on a DeFi integration with Bitcoin, which will allow Bitcoin to actually uh, have yield, yield generation capability on Cardano's blockchain. So that'd be pretty bullish for Cardano. So I actually can't wait for that to occur. It'll be very interesting to see how that works out. But here you go, Cardano, in my opinion, is very bullish. Here are the targets that I mentioned. You can take a look at it here. You can come back and watch it. Let's look at Solana next. Let me delete my old stuff. So Solana's had a huge drop also. Mm, It was a great buy. And let's see what levels Solana, I mean, can reach. So Solana had already taken its all-time high. The other alts have not done that. Like Ethereum, Cardano, none of those other alts took out but Solana did, just like Bitcoin did. So Solana, I'm expecting to have a massive, massive pump, like $500, like very, very possible. $500 Solana, I can see that. Uh, I can even see $1,000 Solana. I don't think there'll be much of a problem for Solana to reach $1,000. 1,500, yes, possible. I do not know about the rest. Like 2,800. I don't know. Maybe $2,000 stretching it. But I'm looking at to be conservative. I'm looking at 500 or 1,000 or 1,500. Those are the levels I'm watching, basically. If it goes higher, great. But if you have Solana, those are good areas to take some profits, like $1,000, 1,500, 500, probably good areas to take some profits. Uh, but if you want to just hold on for the longer term, it's a good project. It also has nice staking. So if just like if Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, they all get staking approved under the ETFs, and the ETFs get approved, which might occur this year actually. Uh, oh, if that happens, just watch the money pouring into these would be crazy amount of money they'll pour into this because uh, it'll be an alternative, to the stock market. You buy these and buy these ETFs that have staking rewards, and you make money. Just like dividends are paid in the stock market, you make money off of crypto by buying those ETFs. So it will become a very good investment choice for investors all around the world. People can, then buy them in their 401ks, IRAs, etc. So I think it'll be a game changer. Like this will be a massive crypto bull run in 2025, I think. Uh, let me see what else I was going to show you. XRP. XRP has had such a big pump already, but let's see what else it can do. So, did XRP take its all-time high? Let me check that real quick. This is the chart of BitGet. No, I don't think it'll be on this one. Let me see if I can pull up a different XRP chart. I'll go to uh, maybe Binance has the old one. No, no. Let me see. I'm still checking. Not this one. I'm trying to find. Hang on, I'll find the one on Bitstamp maybe. That one goes back. Hmm, No, Bitstamp. XRP must have been on Coinbase. No, it was not on Coinbase even. Wow, XRP was not even on Coinbase. That is crazy. At that time, this I'm looking at the 2017 one. That's what I'm trying to find. Give me 1 second, I'll find it. This should have it. Okay, there we go. That's what I was looking for. So XRP, Bitstamp has the most data on XRP. Oh, okay, look at this. So XRP's all-time high was $3.31. Did it hit that yet? It did. So it did take out his all-time high in this run-up, but that was in 2017. And as you guys know, XRP was under a bunch of lawsuits, Ripple XRP, and finally those things dropped. So it had its massive pump afterwards. So let's now see. I'll go back to my other chart now for XRP, and on the weekly chart, and let's see what XRP can get to in this cycle. $4, $5 XRP, yes, $5, yes, it can. $7, very possible. $10, yes, very possible. Very possible. 15, I'm not sure. 15, stretching it. But so XRP's targets are very similar to Cardano's, targets like $5, $8, $10. Around that XRP can reach. Some people are calling for much higher XRP. I don't think it will do that much, but these are my conservative targets. If you own XRP, these are the targets I'm looking for. So, anywhere from $5 to $15 targets. All right. All right, that covers the various crypto assets. Let's go look at some of the stock market indices. I'll make a forecast on those as well. Let's start with NASDAQ. Okay, so look, NASDAQ has had such a huge dump. These markets are correlated. If you didn't know, like NASDAQ, stock market, crypto, they are all correlated, meaning they go up and down together. And they are inversely related to several other things like the US dollar. When the dollar goes down, stock market and crypto goes up. And I'll cover the dollar in a little bit. And the reason that occurs is because people move their money into risk-on assets and move it out of the dollar because that is also, I'll talk more about that when I cover the dollar. So let's just look at the NASDAQ, see where it can head to. I know several of you probably invest money in the stock market, so this will be good for you to, look at some future where it could potentially go. So 25,000, yes, certainly possible. How much increase is that from here? Oh yeah, 40% easy. Can it hit 30,000? Can Nasdaq hit 30,000? I think it can. I think it can even hit 35,000. So let's see. But these are the levels I'm watching, 25, 30, 35,000. I do not think it'll go higher than that, but those are the levels I'm watching for Nasdaq. Okay, these levels up here. Let's look at the S&P 500. S&P 500 looks uh very similar to Nasdaq when the drop looks so similar, but the percent drop is much less. That's how it works always. S&P drops less because, Nasdaq is more tech oriented, so there's bigger percentage drops. Uh, Essentially, Nasdaq is to S&P 500 what Ethereum would be to Bitcoin, for example. Like the altcoins drop a lot more than Bitcoin does, and the altcoins go a lot higher than Bitcoin does. Same thing with Nasdaq. Nasdaq drops a lot more than S&P 500 does. and it goes higher than the S&P does. So let's do the prediction, price level prediction on this S&P 500. So 7,000. Oh yeah, I can see S&P hitting 7,000. Very easy. Can it hit 7,800? Very possible. It can, yes. Can it hit 8,800? Can it hit 10,000? Let's do measurement to 10,000. Oh, that's almost 88% increase. I am not sure about 10,000, but let's see what it did since S&P is a benchmark for the entire stock market. Let's just see what it did in 2017. 25, it went up 25% only in 2017, so it didn't really go up that much in 2017. But the crypto market did. So let's see, let's make a realistic for S&P. I think 7,000 is very possible. Um, it can go higher also than 7,000. If the markets, what I'm expecting will occur here in the markets. Um, After all of this tariff stuff is settled, and after I think that tariff stuff is going to be beneficial for the country, actually for us in the long run. It might even, help us reduce our income tax and even eliminate income taxes. That's what, the administration was discussing. President Trump also said that in one of his interviews. I'm expecting the tariffs will be positive for us in the long run. And the other good news that will occur probably is the end of wars, end of war. So the Russia-Ukraine conflict might come to an end here soon, and the Middle East conflict might come to an end, which will also provide stability, and it'll boost it'll give a bump. So yeah, S&P can go to 7,000. It can go higher also. So the levels I'm watching is 7,000, to 7,000 to 10,000. Basically, I'm watching these levels right here that you see for S&P 500. Let's look at the Dow. So Dow Jones also dropped, quite a bit, just like the S&P did, 18, 20%. So let's see where it can go to potentially. 50,000, yes, very possible, 50,000 Dow, yes, I can see that happening. I can see that happening this year. 30, that can happen. Can it go higher? Possible. So you have 50K, 55,000. Can it go to 61,000? I don't think it can, but 50,000, yes. 55,000, possible. All right, so these are the levels I'm watching: 50,000, 55,000, 60,000. I'm watching these basically, this range from here to here. Okay, now let's look at oil. Here's a chart for oil. The reason I want to show you oil is because I'm expecting oil to have a massive dump. So if you're shorting oil, this is a great opportunity. You can probably take a good short on it. Uh, the weekly candle has closed bearishly. You see that? It took out all of these levels here. Took out all of these levels here. All the sell side has been taken here, and then it closed bearishly, and now this area right here will be bearish. Okay, this will be a bearish order block. So this will be a bearish order block. And notice that on the weekly candle, there's a bearish fair value gap, or also known as SIBI in ICT terms. This is the bearish fair value gap that should hold. Like price should not go, at this point, price should not go above here. But overall, I'm seeing oil to drop down. So we can do a forecast here also actually. So let's do it from this point to this point. Where could oil go to? And see if there are any matching levels. Oh yeah, it can. Look, it can come all the way down to 43 bucks. I think it can. It can free fall here and come down here. But let's say conservative. It can probably come down to like 48 bucks, right? It can very easily do that. So anywhere from 50 to $40. If that happens, that'd be great, right? Because all the gas prices will be down, energy will be down, economy will be booming at that time. So that's for oil. Now let's look at the dollar. As I was saying earlier, dollar is bearish, right? Dollar is on its way down. It means crypto and the stock market is going to go up because people are moving their money out of the dollar into risk-on assets. And why do they do that? People do that because when interest rates go down, interest rates are supposed to come down also this year. When interest rates go down, when the Fed cuts interest rates, you'll reduce the rate on the Treasury. And when that occurs, uh, interest rates will go down in the banks. Right now it was like 4% for some, or somewhere around 3.5, 4% that you could make putting money in a CD or Treasury, treat T-bills. Once interest rates go down, those rates will go down as well. And at that time, people move their money into other assets where they can make more money. So dollar is expected to go down. I'm expecting a lot of these levels to be swept by the dollar. So if we do a quick forecast on the dollar, I'm expecting dollar to drop down to these levels around here, you know, like $90, 90 to 88, somewhere around here. I'm expecting dollar should come down here, which will be great for us, and the people who are in this crypto market, stock market, it'll be great for us for that bull run. If dollar drops, all those other things will go up. So that's the outlook. That covers everything. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with my forecast? What do you think? Uh, and let me know which crypto projects you're investing in. And that covers it for today. Thank you for watching. Until next time, thank you. Take care.